Welcome everybody to the Skull Wolves podcast, the place to talk about Minnesota's top two teams, the Vikings and Timberwolves. In this episode, I'm trying to make sense of the Vikings loss against Eagles last night, the good, mostly the bad, and what this means for the rest of the season. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm kind of going to reasons for the loss, and the first reason is just absolute abysmal show by the offense last night. Honestly, it was like I have no idea what happened from last week. It was like night and day. Like last week, offense was firing at all cylinders. It was looking hot. It was looking good. But then for some reason this week, our run game awful. Dalvin Cook only got like 6 carries and didn't even get 20 yards. Our receivers were dropping balls left and right. Kirk Cousins threw three red zone picks, which, I mean, that's literally as bad as it gets. 3 red zone picks is... We should have won that game, to be quite honest. We definitely should have won that game. There's no reason we shouldn't have. Because when you think about it, have that Irv Smith drop touchdown, 14-21. That last drive at the end of the second half, where Kirk threw his second... I think it was his first one. Yeah, his first red zone pick. That should be a touchdown. 21-21. We get the ball at half. Score there because he threw another red zone pick on the first drive. 28-21, and it's game over from there. The Eagles didn't score in the second half. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about this offense. I mean, Jefferson looked okay. He didn't do anything special, really. Kirk Cousins looked like his normal Kirk Cousins primetime self. I don't know, man. Like, to go from looking like one of the best teams in the NFL to looking like literally the worst team in the NFL last night, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so offense was terrible, obviously. Defense was, especially in the first half, was just not all there. It was weird. The defensive game plan, I just don't know what Ed Donatel was thinking. He was he let Jalen Hurts have basically an MVP type first half. He had like 250 passing yards at half. Had 2 incompletions. Had 20 completions, like 20 for 22. It was just terrible. They had 300 total yards at half. And it was like he was playing so conservative. He got beat once because Cam Bynum's an idiot, and so he just played conservative the rest of the game. Like it was like prevent defense, literally. Like he would just let the receivers have these little 10-yard ding and dunks over and over again. It was so easy. And he made no changes. It just makes no sense. Like, Ed Donatel, what are we doing? Like, I know you all watched it and just... I was getting so frustrated because I knew I don't know what we were doing. We were making no adjustments. It was just fake handoff, quick throw to the flat, 10 yards, basically over and over again. And then we'd cover the flats and they'd beat us. Or we didn't even cover the flats, so we just got beat in the run game. I don't know, man. I mean, we did kind of shut down A.J. Brown. He only had 69 receiving yards, but Goddard had 82. Devonta Smith had 80. So spread the ball well. Miles Sanders had 8 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts only had 57 on the ground, which, I mean, for Jalen Hurts is, I guess, stopping him. But he had 2 rushing touchdowns, so I don't know, man. Special teams were easily the best point of the Vikings this game. They were dominating the game in all, like, every time the special teams stepped on the field, it was domination. Like, yeah, on the punts, they Great punts by the rookie punter on the kickoff returns, just getting down there quick and just making a big play. We had the block punt by Pat Pete, which I still think Chris Boyd should have returned for a touchdown because he got this the punter caught him, so he definitely should have had a touchdown there. That would have been that'd been huge. It would have been 14-24 going into half, and we got the ball, and just another missed opportunity because I think we threw. Or no, it was I think was that the second red zone pick by Kirk? It might have been. Oh no, it was a punt down to the 2, and they returned it, or something like that, or like they took it 98 yards for a touchdown or something like that. Something ridiculous. I really like the new punter Ryan Wright. He averaged just under 50 yards on his 5 punts, including just the one I just said that got them down to the 2, but they took it back. So, not that was basically the only positive. I mean, it was just an absolute abysmal showing by the Vikings last night. Special teams were great. Offensive defense was awful. Defense actually they stepped up in the second half. Actually, the defense I thought they played pretty good. It's just the defense played good, except for that one play by Bynum. But it was Ed Donatel. It was completely his fault. His game plan was just awful, and I was really impressed by her open field tackling, especially by Cam Dantzler. Cam Dantzler had a heck of a game, especially in the first half. He had a ton of tackles for loss or great open field tackles. He was going against AJ Brown, which is no tall task, and he only allowed him to under 70 yards, which is not easy, as you can see from last week. He had 155 against the Lions. Our D line our ends did pretty good, I think. Up the middle was kind of a struggle. They were kind of running all over us, but especially towards the end. But Daniel Hunters and Darius Smith, DJ Wanham had a good game. They were bringing pressure, which is nice. But pressure doesn't matter when the flats are always open, so can't really say that they didn't do good because they didn't get a chance. But kind of what this, I mean, for the rest of the season, I don't know what this means. The Vikings are probably going to be very highly debated in the national media this week because go from looking like one of the best teams in the NFL to looking at the worst team in the NFL the next week. So I don't know what this will mean. I don't know which team is the actual Vikings. The first week 1, I think, is the actual Vikings. We just got some stuff to figure out. Because, the pieces are all there, okay? The everything to win that game was there. It presented itself. We should have won that game. But just little things that we could fix, like Kirk Cousins' 3 red zone picks. Just, come on. Irv Smith dropping a 70-yard touchdown. Come on. Ed Donatel's stupidity. Come on. Stuff like that. If we just fix those 3 things, we win that game. Seriously, if Kirk doesn't throw those 3 picks, we win that game. So I think for the rest of the season, it wasn't we're not as good as the team that we saw week 1, but we're not as bad as the team we saw this week. We're somewhere more on the week 1 side. I'm not super excited to be a Vikings fan right now, but yeah, I guess that'll do it. I'll see you guys in the next one.